Shalom, Patreon. David Neck, aka D Neck, aka that part of your body that connects your head and your shoulders, asked, hold on a minute, stand by. Y'all okay?
Huh?
Y'all alright?
Yeah.
Ish?
Just
Okay.
drove out once, turned around and come get a little swatch through the middle, and it didn't like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Neighbor's got a tractor in a ditch, but they got a backhoe and a chain hooked up to it, so it should all be okay. David Neck of the Atlanta Viking Group, a fine human being who has assisted in Bear Nation missions. Yeah, appreciate you, brother. The question is command presence, beer steins, and braided beards with shrunken skulls. Yes to all of the above. So let's start first with braided beards with shrunken skulls in them. I am not a shrunken skull connoisseur. I don't know how to do that. But perhaps we should investigate. You never know. Because that could absolutely inform the command presence. You'd be a scary looking fella, right? I'm just thinking about like giant beard with beard dreads coming off of it. Little itty bitty skulls all stuck in them. Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. Beer steins, yes. I like the liter variety. I'm a big fan of Oktoberfest, which real hardcore Oktoberfesters will tell you starts in September, not October, but okay. And I like getting the glass commemorative 1 liter beer steins, not the beautiful hand-fired clay sculpted, German heritage beer steins, although I have many of those as well. People have seen fit over the years to gift me beer steins, and I am very happy to take them. My favorite of which is, it's only a little half-liter stein, but it's got a lovely little tin cap on it, and the handle is a fox running up a tree, and I dig it. Very cool little simple stein. Yeah, love it. And if we're gonna have a stein, there needs to be something in it. So I'm a big fan of Vollsteiner Dunkelweiss is good, or Spaten. Their Oktoberfest is very good. I like beer that you need a knife and fork to drink, but I'm me. Those, what's that, Michelob, only 2.6 carbs per bottle. It's like, I want 2.6 carbs per sip, please. I want beer that can sustain life just through caloric density alone. But to each their own. So I like good dark beers. I like porters. I like stouts. I like Weiss beers, wheat beers. And yeah, man, for sure, all of those things. Now, command presence. See, we're working backwards here to command presence. Because imagine you walked into the beer hall holding a liter stein full of Weissbier, and you had this giant massive beard with skulls braided in it. Yeah, you'd be a tough fella. Command presence is, I think it can be taught, but it works best when it's taught to somebody who's already got it naturally, right? It's like anything. If you have a natural gifting for it, you're gonna excel at it much better than if you don't. Command presence is, walking into the room and having a weight. There's a weightiness to your presence, right? And everybody knows, man, hey, that guy or that girl, they're in charge. They're the competent human being in the room right now. They run the show. And I think it's a balance between confidence, right? Because you have to be confident. I think there's like an unspoken aggression to it, even if it's just a little bit of aggression. Not that right here in the moment I'm aggressive, but man, we could go there quick if we had to, right? And that, of course, informs confidence and is informed by confidence. So there's a lot of different concepts all touching each other here. And I think it's a willingness and an experience, generally speaking, to shoulder responsibility and lead teams, lead groups of people, and to put yourself in squirrely situations, right? Which, of course, informs your confidence. And so it's like, how do you teach gravitas? How do you teach somebody to let other people around them fully experience the weight of their bearing, and for that person, you, to be unashamed of the weight of your bearing? Let people feel the weight of you. That's definitely a confidence thing, because we tend to pull back. We don't want people to judge us. We're judging ourselves a lot of times mentally in our mind, you know. And there's an element of self-awareness to it as well. You want to be able to look at yourself in real time from an outside perspective and go, I probably shouldn't have said those words, or I look kind of like an idiot, or I'm acting like a cocky bastard right now. I should probably not be doing that, or whatever, right? But you're doing that as a feedback loop, not in judgment. But we tend to have this internal dialogue of judgment. And I think a big part of command presence is toning that down, or at least not letting it show. I think it also has a lot to do with reputation. Your reputation precedes you, right? Your reputation is going to walk into a room before you will. If you have, good one or bad one. It's like P.T. Barnum said, who in real life, P.T. Barnum was kind of a scumbag. Contrary to what my oldest daughter believes with that musical that was recently released, he was not like a super happy, nice guy, tap dancing his way through life. But one of his more famous quotes is, "There's no such thing as bad press, just spell my name right." He had a reputation, right? And there was his reputation preceded him. To this day, the man's been dead, 100 years? You still say P.T. Barnum. Huge swaths of the population know who that is, right? You need no more explanation. If I say Michael Jordan, right? No more problems. Like, I don't need to explain anything other than that, right? Reputation. And so in the spheres that you operate in your circles of influence, your reputation goes a long way towards informing your command presence. That when you show up, hey man, you're the guy that does the things. You perform, you make things happen. You're always cool under pressure. You're hard but fair, or whatever your reputation is. Which, what's that book? The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, which we may do in men's group at some point. Just because, man, those laws are super good. It would take us close to a year to do it, though, because 48 laws, 1 law a week. I mean, do the math. That's 11 months, 12 months, actually. 4 weeks per month, blah, 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 math. But, yeah, there's 52 weeks a year. So it'd be 11 months of just that book. So I'd really have to think about that. But one of those laws is reputation is everything. Guard it with your life. For real. And, it absolutely informs a command presence. Part of it is posture. Chin up, shoulders back, chest out, feet shoulder width apart, firmly planted on the ground. eyes looking. You're basically saying, come at me, world. Is that all you got? Okay. Unafraid, right? I'm planted here and unafraid. And there's like an aura around people like that where it's just like sheer force of will. This is gonna be okay. How do you know? Logically, I don't, but I can just tell you it's gonna be okay. Or the inverse of that, we need to go now. Why? Now. Okay, we're going. Why? Because you have that force of will, you have that reputation, you have that command presence. People understand, hey, if you say we're going now, that means now. If you say, hey, this is going to work out, it's going to work out, right? And that instills, I mean, that directly informs morale and esprit de corps, right? That lifts everybody up. It definitely informs positions of strength, because if you're good, you get everybody else good around you. It's all these concepts, like I said, man, they're all kissing cousins. They're all rubbing up right next to each other, man. It's tough to teach command presence. I think a big part of it is being there and doing the things, right? It's experience, it's confidence, it's your reputation, it's your bearing, it's your posture, it is your gravitas, the weight of you. And I love that phrase, man. Let people feel the weight of you. Be unafraid to let other people experience the fullness of you. It depends on the situation, because every dichotomy, but you don't need to overly police your actions and your words if your intent is pure in a situation. Be you, but be the fullness of you, and let people feel the weight of you. And I guess the last thing I'll say on it is, when you are in the presence of somebody like that, it doesn't mean that the two of y'all can't coexist, but I think you figure out what's the pecking order, fall in line. If you're not top dog, that's okay. Everybody needs a great number two, man. You know, I mean, absolutely. You need good people around you. And so if you're one of those people that's not at the top of the chain, but you've still got that command presence and you're working on learning all these things, good. Pay attention to the person that you're working with that does have those things. Learn from them. Be actively involved, engaged in conversation with them. Observe them. Take notes. Literally take notes. Right? And as much as you can mimic that, learn from that, do it. Because one day, it'll be your show to run, right? And it might be your command presence might be the thing that saves somebody's life or inspires somebody to get something done, or, you know, changes the course of the mission or history or whatever, right? Because you had this cool, calm, collected, you know, there's even an element of stoicism in this. It's like, yeah, this sucks, whatever. Life is suffering, who cares? Embrace the suck, move on, right? It's almost like words are just cheap when you try and describe these things, because it's like trying to describe, you know, ballet or a beautiful piece of classical music, trying to describe it rather than experience it, right? It's like, tell me about the color blue. You can tell me things that are blue, but you can't tell me much about the color blue. You might, you know, say, well, its wavelength is this, and it, you know, has these resonant frequencies and yada, 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 but what is blue? It's something that you experience and you observe much more than something that you can describe. And so to the best of my ability, that's my take on command presence. I'm really interested in what y'all think down in the comments. Feel free to hit me with that. Yeah, I'm not the consummate expert on it, but I have been told that I have it, and I oftentimes feel that I do have it, and it's a switch that I can flip if the situation calls for it. We can turn it on, man. Which is another thing. You don't want to be running around in full-blown badass mode all the time. Yeah, that's another story for another time, another video for another time. But it is a switch that can be flipped if the situation dictates. So if the the need arises, you can go there. Just just like doing the tactical things. If the need arises, we can go there, right? But yeah, that's my take on command presence. I am going right now to Pizza Hut because today is cheat day. 6 days a week thee shall diet, but on the 7th thou shalt, verily I say unto thee, pound thine pizzas into thine face. Although I don't cheat day on the Sabbath because I don't handle money on the Sabbath and blah, 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 blah. So, but 1 day a week is cheat day. Lastly, if there's anybody out there within the sound of my voice who's struggling with, their body weight and, so forth and so on, I'm having really great success and feeling super healthy with the slow carb diet, not the low carb diet, not keto, not paleo, not carnivore, the slow carb diet. And feel free to Google it. It comes out of the book The 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss, and I'm on week 4, and I think I'm down 9 pounds, something like that, after having already dropped 34 just through exercise and intermittent fasting. So anyway, check it out. Slow carb diet. Shalom, y'all.